Reaching out to all the man on the African continent. And to the from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Mr. Robinson, no respect and justice for all. Greetings in South Asian humanity. Robinson, all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black Fire Radio.
On the beat.
You wanna see some of them who's that when we show them to things him up. Who's got them who are him up? Who am I? And me guy, you got pay him the bricks money not that. And you say, the girls them a do, boys them a do me. Cannot be because they don't like to switch it and not give them the okay, call me. It has not be that because of money, no. If you ever wanna sing my song, not by me, sweet it, you know. They got love me, what's the man I know. If you ever they want to sing the song,
Yes, well done, family. Everybody, good morning, good afternoon. How are you guys doing? 51 minutes past 12 p.m. right here in the 254. What's the time on your end? This is the Pan African Bliss Show every Monday to Friday. Only on Wednesday we get to bring you the Wednesday show. I go by the name JOBY. Karibuni sana. Caleb singing right here, or rather playing right here on the Black Ultra Network radio station. The name of the jam is Girls Love Me. And for sure, he is love. Karibuni sana once again. Shout out to Fokash Money. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. The Pan African Blend, of course. Karibuni sana once again. My name is Joby. In case this is the first time right here, Karibu sana. Hope you guys are doing easy. And of course, good afternoon, good morning from wherever the time is on your end. From my end, it is exactly 8 minutes to 1 p.m. And of course, you're listening to the Pan African Blend Show. Today, shall be having an amazing debate. And of course, these are debates we've been having for so long. And this comes when we see literally the African stolen and unpoken artifacts Okay, we've spoken about this a couple of times, and it's so sad to see that right now, Africa, we've lost our dignity, we've lost our history, we've lost our culture to the point now we're losing our history, which was stolen, to the point now we can't even access it back, but get it back in returns, or rather in terms of money. This is so sad. I'll be reporting this, and of course, it is so sad to see that the officials or other people who we expect to fight for our history are part of those who are literally pocketing, which is supposed to literally cover for these artifacts. And why are we accepting money? That is the first question. But of course, knowing how Nigeria and how corrupt it is, that is what we shall be talking about today, because you can see that apparently we have stolen assets which are worth 8.9 million US dollars that are supposed to be returned in. Of course, I'll be going to this as we get to read, as I get to give my own thoughts about this, because this actually is a history that began long time ago, and we've had the Nigerian government fighting for this since 2014. They were given money, but only the officials know where this money literally went to. But of course, there is more, because we have so many African countries that are so fighting to steal their heritage to be returned back along with it. And also I think I spoke deeper some time back, which I said, if you look at majority of these artifacts, they were used even spiritually. But right now, Africans cannot even, we don't even understand, not even have any clue of this information. But Karibuni Sanada is what we shall be talking about on Namibia, because Namibia has currently come forth and accused its own colonizer, rather its own master, of criticizing the support for Israel genocide. Are we surprised about this? Of course not. But of course, Namibia has something to say. And I'll be sharing a short video where we remember we had, I think it's the Prime Minister, or not the Prime Minister, one of the officials from who got some time back, 2022, Germany, for coming to Africa and telling them what to do. I don't know what's happening with my internet. It's so pathetic, but I hope you guys can hear me. I see on streaming I'm really buffering. Yeah, I can see on the radio I'm really audible, so it's really struggling so hard to hear me on stream on the show. Kind of the music once again. This is still by Caleb Singer, and I'm featured. And of course, I hope you guys get joy. I'll be coming back with the quote of the day, with the matters of the day. Yes, and my quote of the day today is a motivational one, and it says, maybe this day is not one of your favorites, but never forget that every day you wake up is an amazing gift, and it's up to you to make it count. That is my quote of the day. Happiness is all about you. It also counts on you. It also counts on the people you're surrounded with, your environment, the things you're eating, literally a lot, what you focus on, what you're watching, the music you listen to, and all that. So that is my quote of the day, and I hope you stay blessed. And of course, Karibuni Sana once again. That is Caleb Singer with and like I said, I'm featured on that, and I love me some amazing bangers. Karibuni Sana once again. Like I said, today we shall be talking about Nigeria. And I see my internet is really bad. Apologies for that. I hope we're gonna push it through till the end of the show. But if not, I see we on show page. I don't know if it's the same, but if you're on the show, also let me know how is my internet on your end doing. I'd really love to know. For those who are also live with me via the show page, because I'm live there on a Rumble. I'm also live on Spreaker. I'm live on the radio, which is working very loud and clear. But I hope we're gonna push through. But starting forward, like I said, I want to talk about Namibia and what is happening, and I shall also be talking about what is happening, the femicide that is happening in Kenya. For the last 2 weekends, we've had very horrific situations, and I want to give my thoughts regarding this, because online social media is really toxic. It is super crazy. It is really toxic to see at this moment. We were supposed to be really talking about how we can protect it. The time people want to talk about what they did, the step they took to end up in that kind of situation. About that later, but for now, Namibia being the board, it has criticized German for supporting Israel over that is the International Court genocide case, and Namibia has disapproved the German decision to step in on behalf of Israel in a case before, the International Court of Justice, where South Africa has accused Israel of committing genocide in Gaza, which we know is true. But we saw the United States coming forth and saying that this is, actually that was Anthony Blinken, who came forth and said that any step taken forward of accusing Israel against genocide is a distraction to the rest of the world. And we're like, the big action you're doing here, and which is you're supposed to be the bars right now, giving us some answers, is you killing innocent people, hospitals, and literally so many people. But they're saying that the president of Namibia urged Germany to reconsider its involvement, citing the historical context of Germany acknowledgement of genocide in Namibia in 2021. During the period of 1904 to 1908, German colonizers perpetrated what historians consider the 20th century first genocide. It's the media for me, resulting in the massacre of 70,000 Herero and Nama people. President of Namibia urged the Germany moral commitment to the United States, to the United Nations Convention Against Genocide, including atonement for the Namibian genocide, conflicted with support for Israel. He stated that the German government had yet to fully address the historical wronging in Namibia. And of course, also there's a time where the president was vice president by 2020, or try to stop them from doing something, but at the end of the day, you say, bow down to their rules, because why won't you start your own Pan-African? That is how you start a Pan-African state, an African Union. When you're no longer siding with what they want you to do, that is part of it. But shout out again, I love referring to our own president, that is William Ruto. A very funny one, He's very funny. We love him, we support him. That's all I can say for now. You know, that's all I can say. It's good to see what African countries like South Africa, Namibia. So far, I've not seen any other. I'm not sure of. I'm not. All right. Okay. I've not seen, apart from South Africa and Namibia, which are the only African countries coming forward to talk about what is happening or what Israel is doing. Only these two countries. And I'm saying I'm not sure about Burkina Faso, but I'm sure they're not backing up with this. But it's not a time to talk about what is happening while they have matters to literally handle, and which they're really doing amazing. They're really doing great. Niger, Mali, I don't think they have time right now to consider or even to put on the table what is really happening right now, Israel, Gaza war, and all that. But so far, so good. We can see at least other African countries who they have their embassies involved, or Israel involved, kind of this, because I believe all the countries are, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So let's video very quickly. This is a video where we had the president lecturing him and the Chinese in history. And I believe we shared a very, very, very sarcastic video where we saw one of the members of Namibia saying that Chinese are a better ally. I'm not sure if it was from Zimbabwe or Namibia, but I think one of those countries. Let me share this very quickly. Let me share. Okay. Slow, so I think I might not share it. But basically, very slow. Okay, here we go.
In Namibia, for example, the number of Chinese people under the German community. And it's so far, it's not precisely the same.
I don't see Chinese will never come and play around here. If Germans not allowed to do that, which Germans are doing, by the way. You talk about Chinese. We allow Germans to come offer visas here.
And again, I'll repeat with a video Professor Lumumba said, like I said yesterday, it's only in Africa, because yesterday my show was not really audible, and I hope I am audible, which I don't think so. I don't know. But Professor Lumumba said it is only in Africa, where we allow everyone to come in and we don't question. But we have us always running away for our lives anywhere we go, aside from our continent. Majority of our people are being killed day in, day out. You being black in the West it's like a threat. You need to fear for your life. You need to be conscious of what you're doing. You might be going against the white supremacy. Here in Africa, we're talking about corruption. We're talking about political power, which has taken over. It is so crazy. And now we have, for a minute I was shocked, but I was kind of also, shocked to see that is what the president did. When he said that Kenya was visa free, I questioned myself. I'm like, you just opened a door for terrorism. You just have opened a door for, we don't know what is now going to happen. Like, you just opened that door. until he came figured out this is another scam of him stealing money, which is a good plan. I mean, such kind of a mindset. Tell me, how can you be this smart? You know? It is crazy. But yeah, whatever you're saying is true. The Chinese
Red carpet. Our people are harassed
in
no, it's not. And you know, every time we see the West coming complaining about Chinese people are the problem, or China is the problem. But they don't want to talk about where we know China is another puppet state that is built to collapse the rest of the African countries as they take over to rule. That's something else I need these leaders or the next leaders to set clear. None of these people are a better ally. All of them are the same. They are all the same. Different names, but the same bloodstream, the same kind of mindset. They're not different. I think we were discussing that yesterday. It's not different. They're all the same. It needs to be addressed like that, you know. There should be too much. And this is why you see why when African people to the Arabic countries, they get the culture shock. Like, how could you treat me like this? How are you so inhumane? Like, why are you acting like this? The shock comes from them because they want to keep on sugarcoating everything. It's enough. It is enough. Our continent is being taken over as we listen to nonsense because it's all this. They don't have the confidence to talk because the same thing they do to the people right here in the continent is the same thing they're going to be done to after they are done with. I think we spoke about that, where the master will use you, then after that, he's going to dump you because you're too easy to sell me out as well. You can sell out your own people. I mean, you think I'm going to trust you? You think I have the nerve to trust you and what you're saying? So to you, Freedom Media, Karibu. I won't. So I think that's what is happening. And I'm glad that Namibia is doing this and what South Africa is doing, but it's not enough. Amber, I don't know. The lady I was sharing her video, the one called out as a queen. Whatever she said is true. We need reparation paid. We need the black generational wealth given back to us. We don't even need anything else. You just leave the African continent alone. We don't want to be involved in anything that involves the people. That is all that Africa is asking. I saw a video of top man. It is so crazy. What is happening in Congo? It is raining right now. It is flooding at the same time. They have just selected another corner. No, the same of the Congolese people. I saw a video of children. Yeah, it's like they're in like it's all just a paper is covering them from the rain, and the mother is being rained on outside. She questioned the government, like, "What are you doing? What is this? Is this what you really want to see? This is what the media should come filming every single day? This is what you're selling, making money off?" And that is what the truth. That is what the image of African poverty is literally making people wealthy. And starting from our own leaders, because they have allowed this to happen. All this has been allowed to happen. you know, where the white people, it's only CNN, BBC who can come and tell us, hey, you know, for so long, you've been having British, you know, controlling your tea farm. And let's make it worse. They have actually employed corrupt people. And they now even go to the matter where they don't want to give job opportunities, but sexually abuse you. Which is our next story. Sexually abuse you. This is so crazy. Good morning to you too, kid. Karibu sana. Hope you're doing amazing today. All we need as African people, just combining these stories. South Africa has went ahead and filed a case against Israel. Now we see Namibia coming forward and criticizing German for supporting Israel, which they should, because these people committed genocide that also in Namibia, which is never spoken about. Every time it comes to the African history or anything they have done, or let this history be sunk underwater, like they did to the cities we saw yesterday, you know, let this history just be to go underwater, you know. Let it go underwater. Shout out to you, Anthony Taylor, Karibu Sana. I'm talking about Namibia, Keith, Karibu Sana, where they are criticizing German for supporting Israel. And I'm saying so far I see 2 African countries who are supporting this motion or the case against Israel. And we saw other countries like Turkey, I can't remember the other one, which are against this, but I've not seen any other African countries. And I'm saying countries like Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, they should even dwell on this matter. They have their own issues to deal with. And that is what Africa should be focused on. But it's crazy because I'm sharing a video of, I think, 2022, 2021, where we had the president of Namibia criticizing German for always lecturing them. But I'm saying, you're criticizing, you're here telling me how I'm always lecturing you, but you're still working for me. Does that make sense to you? Do you know how dumb you sound? Sorry to say. Like, you're telling me I'm lecturing you, you're tired of my lectures, and that the West should lecturing the Chinese because both the Chinese, the Germans, the Europeans are Africa the same. But you're still working for me. You get me? It doesn't make any sense a change for the Namibian people or the African people. So in general, I'm saying that what should happen is that the African leaders, if you're going to have God involved in none of this, this is not our business, being honest. Israel war, whatever is happening, of course, is wrong. We know that. Nobody is supporting this. But at the same time, it's not our business. We have seen Congolese people, children, crying, suffering left, right, and center. Go on TikTok and see this man. You just take yourself on TikTok. If you're not, the truth is there, trust me. The truth is majority right here on TikTok, because that is apparently people can talk the truth. You know, so crazy. It is super, super crazy. It is so crazy. None of these leaders will do anything to make a change for the African people, but talk the same talk. Oh, we're tired. But that's what I'm saying, because they're asking who's let me read your question. Who's sexual and who? Who's sexual abusing who? I'm saying to the point where these African leaders, they keep on talking about how, okay, yes, we need reparations, we need change for the African people, how things work, Africa always being lectured and all that. But the lecture and you talking does not change anything. We need actions on the ground. And actions does not come when we have BBC, CNN coming to cover our stories to tell us, oh, for so long, we've had a British company controlling your tea farm. We've had the British government controlling this sector of your land. We see when the result is happening. corrupt people in the system. To the TIFA, we had women being sexually abused to get jobs, and majority of them even ended up being HIV positive. So sad. And which brings me now to the Kenya, what is happening in Kenya right now, the femicide. It's increasing. And this is crazy. This is crazy if you think about it on a very deeper level as a woman, as a lady. How it's gonna be so hard to trust people in the society or even approaching new people in the society. This is so scary, being honest. Very scary. Yesterday, remember you guys me telling you there's a woman, a lady actually, she has been identified. She's 20 years old and she was shot to pieces by someone she met apparently in an Airbnb. And which I say right now, it's not the moment to criticize. Why are you going to meet a stranger? Let's question, why are we living in a very insecure community? Well, insane, because I don't even know what to call that. It's crazy. I've just seen the images and that's really devastating. And I can't imagine what the family of this lady is going through. The head is missing. That's even the crazy part. You have to bury someone whose head you don't know where it is. But the criminal has been identified, so we're looking for him. If he's, but the question is, I mean, where? Because I'm certain this is not only in Kenya. It is becoming a thing in Africa where you just hear someone killed, someone killed, this killed, this killed. Women abused, and nobody wants to talk about this. because we don't even know about our own president. I'm sorry to say, I'm just saying. Rumors have it, but I'm just saying, I don't know. This is so sad. He had that it was up to ladies to put their safety first, claiming it was the only feasible option. In response, the rampant victim blaming "Stop Killing Women" began trending on Twitter. And one woman on Twitter said that, "Can't believe we're still seeing stories of what women should and shouldn't do when men should actually stop killing women first." Well, it is true, but at the end of the day, this is actually not just men, also women, because we've also had cases of where there are women who have killed their husbands, women who have killed. It is, I don't know what's really going on. Do we need to be checked mentally as a country, or what is really, really happening? So sad. They're saying that for many campaigners, the response from Kenya men online is not uncommon. Mr. Hunton told the BBC these comments were not simply isolated cases of misogynist men, but indicative of a broader culture of woman hating. Social media and SMS platforms are the new public square, public space, public. Kenya society remains divided on what drives sexual and gender-based violence. For some, female victim blaming, and for others, the blanket condemnation of men are acceptable arguments. I don't believe, man. I don't know. And this is when you say we don't control our own media. If we had a black-owned media, we should be able to talk positive of this kind of situations, not criticizing each other. Trust me. Because Meta is to blame. I believe Meta has been blamed for all this. Also, the online hate speech, pushing some just agendas and all that to the people who control these servers and all this. Come on, man, this is so sad. This is so heartbreaking. Again, condolences to the family. Nobody should go through this. But again, to the women, you need to take care. I don't want to know what she was doing, what she went to meet this guy for, but nobody should go through this, and you should just take care. Personally, I've just been shattered, being honest, on a trust level right now. I mean, I have zero trust, but I think it's just been lowered completely. I'm scared of just meeting new people right now because you don't know people's intention. What? This is so crazy and so sad. Being honest, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Super, super crazy. But anyway, moving forward, I also want to talk about what is happening. Before I get to the story of Nigeria, I want to talk about, let me get this story. What happened, that was last week regarding, I think 2 weeks ago, if I'm not wrong, we had our very own dear president, William Ruto, coming out and calling out on the corrupt judges. And I questioned something. He called them actually the cartels, and also accused the opposition leader of working together with cartels to not ensure that his agendas towards Kenya will not prosper. And I questioned, between us, especially the citizens and the people you are accusing, and you, who is the cartel? Because you know how this works. But anyway, during that actually incident, we saw also actually lawyers demonstrating. That was in the 254 in the streets. That was the LSK. And I see that right now the Chief Justice wants to talk with the president, despite her coming out and saying that the president has no power and no right to speak on how he wants to change, judges, or rather speaking on how the judges should work. He should be answerable to the country. And now I think she's been bought out. I'm not sure. But let me read this. They're saying that the Kenyan Chief Justice Martha Koome says that the judiciary has written the president William Ruto seeking to address concern he raised against some judges. President Ruto has in recent days mounted a war against the judiciary, accusing some unnamed corrupt judges of working with opposition to block his government projects. And if I'm to go back to facts, if I'm sure he's the one who appointed these judges, if I'm sure. He's the same person who appointed these judges. So apparently they're corrupt. Addressing a media conference on Monday, Ms. Comey said the attacks against the judiciary were stepping up the countries for chaos and anarchy. And of course, I quote what they say, that if this course is allowed to continue and unabated, we are on the precipice of constitutional crisis that can lead to untold civil strife. So we will be looking out for the dialogue we have written, and I believe that the president is going to give us an appointment. The opposition leader Raila Odinga accused Mr. Ruto of trying to intimidate judges, while a group of lawyers staged protests last week condemning the president's attack. The president, who came into power, that was in September 2022, has come under criticisms for introducing new taxes and rising cost of living. And that is what is happening. So we're going to see what is going to be happening. I'm not going to be shocked if they're still going to, whatever this motion is all about for him calling them corrupt, there's something he's trying to push, and that is what the judges maybe stopped. So I believe they have been bought out, because talking about money and power in Africa, and corruption, and the line with a very thick line, corruption. That is what is happening. So I'll be taking you guys through because I've been following up on this story. We'll see what is going to be happening before the end of the weekend, what our president will be saying, and if he's going to change the board again. Shout out to Nancy Tash. Karibu sana. Thank you for following the host, and welcome to the Blackout Fire Network radio station. Last but not least, this is about George Weah. Before we get to Nigeria, we had elections held. That was in not Nigeria, but Liberia. Sorry, we had elections held in Liberia just recently, and we saw George Weah, taking over again the presidential seat. But he has come forth and apparently said he's not looking forward to vie for another presidential seat. Why are these leaders always talking about, another election that is, let's say, 5 years ahead or 10 years to come, when they have not even fulfilled anything that they have done? No, anything that they have promised the people, any manifesto that they have promised the people. How is it that you come to talk about future plans while the present is literally empty? How are you going to fill the tank? Well, right now it's already, it's even barely a drop. Make that make sense. And then there's something I don't understand about these leaders. And this is how you understand they are groomed. Everything they say is all the same. You'll hear Jomo Kenyatta say the same thing. I'm not looking forward to extend my term. Of course, they don't say it directly. They just say, like he said, I won't run again for president. Just like that. And then you hear, apparently, the people loved me. Shout out to Kagame. The people love me, and, they just ended up choosing me, and I am the person. So, yeah, imagine. It is super, super crazy. But yes, the thing, Liberia outgoing President George Weah has said he has no plans of seeking re-elections in 2029 after his defeat in recent elections. Recent defeat, sorry. Mr. Weah, a former international footballer, was elected in 2017 but lost in November. Sorry, I got that wrong. To Joseph Boakai, who is due to inaugurate on Monday. Yep. And of course, addressing the church congregants on Sunday on the outskirts of Capitol. It's always in the church's family focus. Okay. We discussed this, church and politics. It is always the church. Addressing the church congregants on Sunday on the outskirts of the Capitol, Monrovia, Mr. Weah said he would be 63 in 6 years, and he would not willingly to be active in politics beyond 65 years. I mean, how old is Tinubu again? 70-something. So you want to lie to us that your masters cannot elect you or select you again when you're at 63 years? You're lying, You're lying. How old is our president? I'm not sure, 50-something. Yeah. But it is around 57 now, and our retirement age is 65. Excuse me. And 6 years from now, I will be 63 and I cannot work for 2 years. That is what he had to say. Excuse me. That was shocking me. But anyway, that is what he had to say. And of course, I want to move on to the main focus of the day, which is Nigeria. Excuse me. Okay. I still have a cold, so yep, we continue. Whew. That's ruining my makeup. That's ruining my makeup. But anyway, moving on to Nigeria. Sorry, family, about that. I want to talk about the stolen assets, which are what yep. Yeah, so I want to talk about Nigeria. And of course, we had a court ruling about the assets which are worth 8.9 million US dollars and which are supposed to be returned in Nigeria, excuse me. And this comes after Jazzy's Attorney General served a fortified, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, notice to the Royal Court in Jazzy in November. And the court ruled the money deposited in Jazzy Bank was likely stolen by officials in Nigeria in 2014. So I'm trying to get this story very correctly. I'm not sure if the money is being given right now or if the money was given to the government of Nigeria by then. That is what I'm trying to understand. Was the money given to Nigeria by 2014 or are they giving the money right now? Because let me read that again. A court has ruled stolen assets worth 8.9 million US dollars can be returned to Nigeria. Can be. Not even will be. Can be. It comes after Jazzy's Attorney General served a fortnight's notice to the Royal Court in Jazzy in November, and the court ruled the money deposited in Jazzy bank account was likely stolen by officials in Nigerian government in 2014. And the return of the assets will now be negotiated with the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The transfer of the money was disguised as government-sanctioned contracts for arms purchase during seizures by Boko Haram in Nigeria between 2009 and 2015. And we have the victims of the crime. So I'm trying to understand. I've not gotten the story correctly. If the money is being given right now because it's being supposed to be negotiated, or if the money was stolen by 2014. Because if we had the court which ruled the money and deposited in the Jazzy Bank, how did it end up in the Nigerian government in 2014? And they're saying that the transfer of the money disguised as the government-sanctioned contracts for arms purchase during the Boko Haram time in Nigeria 2009 and 2015. But they said that the government of Jazzy said it was probable that most of the funds meant for legitimate arms deal were diverted through foreign bank accounts and from shell companies, or we know who these are. The Attorney General's office said it was believed the money went to the family members of the former ruling party and was shared amongst its members during the 2015 general election in Nigeria, and that the obtained property in Casa was to be used for the purpose of such illicit transaction. His Majesty Attorney General said that the government of Jazzy had worked in close partnership with the federal government, with the Federal Republic of Nigeria to recover the property on behalf of the people of Nigeria. He said this case again demonstrates the effectiveness of 2018 forfeit law in recovering the proceeds of corruption and restoring the money of victims of crime. And he says, I intend to negotiate an asset to return agreement to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So all you can see literally all here is corruption. And I want to dig deeper about this story. Something is not adding up to me, being honest. There's something missing. between the Jersey government and the Nigerian government. And I see kids say that remember always to keep the stolen they always keep the stolen money in other banks. Yep, they do. Yes, they do. But we're talking about stolen assets worth 8.9 million, which are supposed to be returned in Nigeria. So I'm going to figure out the puzzle. But again, personally, if I got the puzzle correctly, Africa has a lot of stolen assets that are supposed to be returned. And if we now we talk about where we need to get our own heritage, our stolen artifacts in terms of money, then I think we're really already gone. We're so broke as a continent, and we're not broke at the same time. This fake money is literally making us collapse, where we're so dependent on it to the point where we're willing to sell out our own heritage. I'm going to do deeper research on this because something is not really adding up. That's all I'm getting, and I'll be able to present the full story of it. But anyway, I'm getting closer to the end of the show, and I would appreciate everyone who has been with me on today's episode. And I hope for those who are going to be able to catch this show, you can be able to listen to it well on Spotify, rather on Spreaker, because on StreamYard it's really been messed up, and I want to apologize for that. For the last 2 days, I don't know what's happening with our internet, but I don't know. It could be the weather, probably, because it's been raining, and sometimes that messes up a lot also right here on the continent. But anyway, I'm coming towards the end of the show, and I see majority of you are tuning in, but much love. See you guys later on the Black Kings frequency as we get into much more of deeper conversation. But from now, thank you, kids, also for tuning in. Let me grab some water because a girl is dying. Okay, much love. See you guys later.
All the way.